Just want to make sure there I actually have some sound here. Do I have sound, anybody? If you're on there and you can hear me, could you please just let me know, because I'm trying something different on the fly here today. So I'm just seeing a few people hop on. I just don't know if my mic is actually working. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm just going to let a couple more people hop on, because this was kind of like an impromptu, just saying hello and catching you all up on what's going on. So we'll just give it a second to maybe some more people will see that I'm on. Oh my gosh, I look tired. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I see a few people are on, so I do appreciate you showing up. So it has been literally insane since I got home from Tucson. So, normally this would be my day. Sorry, I'm going to babble probably because there's been not a lot of sleep in the last few days. So I got home from Tucson on, what day was it? Really late on Thursday night. And my body took a kicking on that trip. We had an absolute blast, but my body took a kicking. And so I kind of laid low for a couple of days. And then on Sunday, we had to get a whole pile of stuff done around the house for the next stage of our renovation. And partway through the day, I had a shower, and I was just about, I was just kind of sitting on my phone for a minute, and I heard a scream, and a bump, 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 and then a major scream, and it was my poor husband. And he had fallen down the stairs while carrying down some heavy tile, and he broke his kneecap in 2 places. So it's completely sheared in half. So he has a 2-inch gap between the top part of his kneecap and the bottom part of his kneecap, and nothing in between. So my husband's not a drama queen. He's like a pretty, easygoing kind of guy. But I could see that something was not right. And he said, call an ambulance. And when he says that, I'm like, okay, we need to call an ambulance. So luckily we have a fire station like a half a mile away. They were here pretty quick, got him stabilized. And then the ambulance came and looked and said, well, that doesn't look so good. So off he went to the hospital. And, the hospital system here is broken, and that's a whole other story. But it's a lot of waiting. And then they gave him some morphine and said, go home. You'll have your surgery in a day or 2. And we're like, well, go home. How do we do this? Because he's a bigger guy. He's tall and he's a little bit heavier. And I have such bum knees. And I thought, oh, okay, how are we going to do this? Well, it was literally the most excruciating thing I've ever done to a human, was trying to get him stuffed into my vehicle and get him into the house. We're under complete renovation. So I have no kitchen. I have no bathroom. I have stairs that go upstairs that he can't get to because everything's covered in plastic and drywall dust, and he wouldn't even be able to get into the bedroom because of the way that it's configured, and there would be no bathroom for him to use. So I had to put him on the couch, and he tried to sit up for 2 days, and he's writhing in pain. And finally, yesterday, he had an appointment with a surgeon. And the surgeon said, sorry, we're really kind of backed up. So you're going to have to go home for a week, and we'll do it sometime next week. And it had already taken its toll on me. I was just exhausted from having to do every single thing around the house. I never even touched my business because I haven't had time, plus dealing with all the renovations and just all of the stuff. And he knew that we couldn't do this. And so my husband actually stood up and said, no. Well, he didn't stand up because he can't. He said, no, I'm not going home. You're going to have to admit me. We can't do this. Like, it was crazy. I mean, I don't know. He couldn't even go to the bathroom, TMI. But, we're just not set up for it. So it took us about 5 hours for him to get a bed. They did get him admitted. They did not want to, but we just refused to leave the hospital. Oh, my God. I'm looking at myself. I have got the biggest bags. Because I'm not sleeping well either, because I've been super stressed, and it's hard seeing somebody you love in just absolute agony. So Anyway, I got home late last night and the dog is running around going, where's dad? What's going on? Why is he not home? And I talked to my hubby this morning and he's now, I guess they call, NPO. So he's not having anything to eat or drink in hopes that maybe somehow a miracle will happen and he will get his surgery. Now they've said that the surgery is going to be kind of horrifying and it's not a very long surgery, but they have to replace his kneecap or they're going to try and, somehow wire it together or whatever. But the doctor said 6 to 8 weeks with no bending, no standing, no nothing. And again, we're not set up for this. So I have to try and figure out the logistics of that. And then he says it's going to be about a year before he actually goes, oh yeah, I had surgery on my leg last year. So we're really not looking forward to the next little while. So, and there were so many things that he needed to do on the renovation because we have a contractor, but we had sort of made a deal that Rob was going to handle some things and then they were going to do other things to try to keep costs down because this is a ridiculously expensive thing. So that's the crazy that I'm about to, have to deal with. I'm lucky that I have fabulous staff. They've been, they worked really hard on Monday. They all came in on Monday to get everybody's orders out. Unfortunately, there's nobody here yesterday or today because I actually told them not to come in because I just didn't want to have to deal with anything else. So I told them all to come back tomorrow. So if you've got an order sitting in the queue, they will all go out tomorrow. So I apologize for a day or two delay. We're really good at getting orders out on the same day, but you'll have to give us a little grace this week. So hopefully next week goes back to normal. It all depends on Rob really when he gets home and what kind of hell that's going to place on me. I feel myself about ready to snap. When do you ever get to that point where you just feel like, okay, I now have one little tiny millimeter left of whatever I can handle and that's about to go. That's where I'm sitting. I'm just kind of okay, I have had the absolute most stressful year and a half of my life. And I'm okay, what else can you throw at me, man? I just don't know. And my mom said yesterday, as my 86-year-old mom who's on chemotherapy and, it's so tiny and she's trying to help me stuff my husband in the car. Oh my God, that was just horrifyingly bad. It was just terrible. So she's like, thank God you still have your sense of humor, Kellie. Because I'm yeah, that and wine, Mom. Because I'm not even drinking rum and Coke right now because I need to sleep and the Diet Pepsi that I drink wasn't helping with my sleep. So, so it's a lot right now. Anyway, I had an absolute blast in Tucson. My girlfriend, I went with my two closest friends on this side of the country, Carrie and Stephanie Dielman. A lot of you know them as they are the most fabulous glass bead artists. I don't know what you call them. They make lampwork beads and they're stunningly beautiful and they have their own group. So if you've never gone to their group, I think it's called the Carrie and Stephanie Show. Kerri is how Carrie spells her name. So if you haven't ever gone to their group, go. They sell their beads and made jewelry and all kinds of stuff. And they're extraordinarily talented, just incredible. So I went with the two of them and we had an absolute blast. I don't think I have laughed that hard in years. It was crossing your legs kind of laughing. We had, we had car picnics every day. We went to the grocery store and got vegetables and hummus and really healthy stuff and sat in the car and debriefed for a little bit at lunchtime and scarfed down some food and then hit the shopping again. Tucson was a very different experience this year. It was tough. I've been going for a very long time. I think that I've been going for 18 years is what I sort of figured out. And I only had missed the last 2 years due to COVID. And it was very hard. And Stephanie, who's the most positive, happy person on the planet, found herself getting a little bit kind of irritated. She didn't know why. And what she realized was that she was just disappointed because there wasn't the excitement that there often is. There was no crowds, which is, it's nice, but there was also no vendors. I mean, there were vendors, but not one single one of my favorite vendors was there. So all the stuff that I always bring back and I'm always getting all excited about, I didn't get. So I had to kind of readjust my attitude on day 2 or 3 and just go, okay, well, I'm here for the fun and the beads are going to have to be secondary because I just wasn't finding what I normally wanted. And so I'm going to go back to my vendors and just buy online because they weren't there. And I get it. It's expensive. And people were just really frustrated this year. Like beads have gone up probably 150% or more. I think I'd calculated over 150%. So it was really expensive, and trying to negotiate pricing and all that kind of stuff. It was a little bit, frustrating, but I did get some good stuff. I've got 8 boxes en route. 7 of them have arrived in my mailbox in Linden, Washington. 1 is lost, and I can't go pick any of them up until that other one arrives, because that's just the way my whole customs paperwork works. So I can't even get them and get started on everything. So, one more thing that I have to just kind of relax about. So yeah, that's what I've heard. Like a lot of people were saying the same thing about Tucson. So people weren't upset. It's just a change, and we have to get used to change. The venues didn't have that vibe, that thing that we. Okay, sorry. Somebody tried to call me. I thought I had my phone on airplane mode so that nobody would call, but obviously I didn't do that. So I apologize for that. I will keep trying to block people as they call me. So hopefully I'm still alive. Goodness, it's just one of those things. So I just really wanted to, come on here and just touch base with you and just kind of tell you what's going on. As soon as I do get my, am I still live, by the way? I can't tell. That's the only thing you never quite tell when you're sitting here talking to yourself. So, okay, good. I see some comments coming in. There's just challenges. I have to figure out how to get down to the US once I do get them, because of course I have to, there for my husband, although he's been very kind and said, honey, don't bother coming to the hospital if you don't need to, because what am I going to do? Sit there and look at him? And he's in so much pain, and he's on so much morphine, and he's just kind of lunched out. So, I'll go pop in and see him today for a little bit, but I think he actually welcomes the quiet, because I was like fussing over him, like, what do you need, honey? Do you want me to rub your feet? And you want this? And I think he just wanted to say, shut up and go away and leave me alone. I'm fine. Oh man, I really appreciate it. I did put a post. Oh, goodness, I got hair. I didn't even be able to go for my haircut. I put a post on about what had happened with Rob, and I am so thankful that I have such fabulous customers and viewers and friends that are on my Kellie's Bead Boutique page. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all of the love and care that you have, and prayers, and all the things that you have extended to both Rob and I. They are very welcome. He was humbled by it. He says, wow, that's crazy, hun. Because I was reading him a lot of the comments that people were putting. And, sometimes I often wonder if you guys actually know what that means to people when you extend your sympathies and your prayers and your good wishes and thoughts and all those things. I think maybe some business owners just kind of go whatever, but not this one. I take them all to heart, and I go in there, and I loved every single post, because I feel like it's really important you're taking your time out to extend your best wishes. And I feel like I can take a few moments out when I have them to, love the comment that you left. And so if I have missed you, I apologize. I'm trying. So, Kirsten, the thing is, I said to him, do you want me to bring you some earplugs? And he said, nah, I can sleep through anything. And I said, literally in the hospital, I hate you. Because I wasn't feeling so good the other day. When I got back, I was super tired and I just needed to sleep. And he comes in the bedroom while I'm sleeping, and I looked at him. It was actually Sunday morning. I said, you couldn't let me sleep, could you? And he goes, all I did was open the door. I'm like, yeah, but even with earplugs, I wake up. It's like I need to have a bubble around me. I wake up so easily. It's just crazy. So he's one of those guys that can sleep through anything. He just gets into his zone, and, so I think this will be better for him being there, because like this morning he woke up in terrible pain, and they were able to give him some morphine. And so that's good. And there's people there to help him get up. And cause I couldn't do it. And I mean, it's the poor fella, not being able to go to the bathroom and all that stuff. It's a lot. It's it's demoralizing for him. And, you know, he's like a big, strong guy. So, you know, it's hard. But anyway, so there's been lots going on. My lifelong bestie from when we were kids, Shauna, she was the one that interrupted this and phoned me, but I'll have to call her back. I can see there's a voicemail there. Anyway, so she just flew into town on Monday, and she's like, I thought Rob liked me because now he's thrown himself down the stairs and we may not be able to get together because of this. Her mother fell on, I don't know, last week sometime and broke her hip while we were gone. And she had to have surgery and she's doing okay, but you know, things aren't great. And my girlfriend Stephanie, her mother-in-law fell and broke her hip while we were away. It was like, okay, how many people are going to fall and break things in the next little bit? Like, it seems to be a bit of a thing. So I'm trying to be very careful and walk very, very mindfully because my knees are already in a sad state of affairs. So I have to be careful with all of this. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys hanging around and, you know, coming on the crazy ride of Kellie's Bead Boutique and all her trials and tribulations, because it seems like there's been a lot lately, doesn't it? Like I keep thinking, okay, I can't take one more thing. And then one more thing happens. And I'm like, well, I took it. But I could use a break, you know, waving the white flag, going, okay, I get it. If you're trying to tell me something, like, can you just speak out loud and tell me? Because, hey, sweetheart, so there's my honey on there. So you guys can say hi to Rob. He's obviously watching from the hospital. I'm telling them all about you, honey, that you haven't been able to go to the bathroom or anything like that. I didn't, you know, get really deep into it, but so everybody say hi to my sweet hubby. He's just laying there probably being a pain in the butt to the nurses. Oh, goodness. I'm lucky to have a very understanding, thoughtful, and lovely husband, because I think he's been as worried about me as I have been about him. And, you know, that's a lovely place to be. I'm a very lucky person. Sometimes it takes something like this to remind you of how much you do love and appreciate somebody. I have always loved my husband. Last week I wanted to divorce him because, you know, that's how life goes. But this week, no. But so I think sometimes, you know, we need a little shake up. You're their worst patient. You are not. You are like the easiest going guy. Hey, if you can put up with me, you can do anything. Like, you are just like the man, right? So, I mean, probably the worst thing today is he doesn't get to eat or drink anything. So I'm sure he's just going to be watching TV and stuff until I get in there with some headphones, and then he can at least put his head back with some music or something. So, oh, craziness. So let's hope that my 8th package arrives. I did get some fun stuff. So when I say I didn't really buy much, I mean, normally I come back with, like I think last time I came back with almost, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I came back with almost $500,000 worth of product. This time I came back with about 50. Yeah, so 50,000. That was about it. So I really didn't do the heavy buying that I normally do. I just couldn't find what I wanted, but I did find some fun stuff. If you guys are into large hole beads, which I know a lot of my customers are, because I'm the barrel knot queen and I use a lot of leather. And speaking of the barrel knot queen, next video I have something hilarious to show you. Anyway, this was an impromptu just chat, so I thought, no, I'm not going to show you today. Anyway, so I've got lots and lots and lots and lots of large hole beads. A lot of my vendors had them. The prices were through the roof, but I thought, you know what, I'll just eat it and I will make them as affordable as I can so that you guys can get some fun beads and not have to, you know, pay through the roof for them. So I didn't buy very many pearls. I know I had people asking for pearls, but you could see by that post that I put that some of the pearls were ridiculous. Now, those were like AAA grade pearls that we were looking at. But I don't like to buy crappy beads. I can buy lots of crappy beads for a cheap price, but I don't like to do that. So I thought I'm just going to leave the pearls for now, and I will get them direct from China from my my girl there. And I didn't really find any metals. That was the big bummer, is that I think I only got a handful of metals, but I did buy what I could find and had a blast. And it was really nice meeting up with people. I hung out with Neelay Patel a few times, and Jill Wiseman and Sarah Oler and Kristen from Soft Flex, and I saw the Tierra Cast people, and I saw the Jesse James people, and I met Brittany. What's Brittany's last name? Chavers, I think, from Turquoise Street. And I had tons of people, like my viewers, coming up and saying hi. So if you said hi to me, hi back again. It's always fun having people coming up and oh, hey Jill, there you are. It was so good to see you too. We all met up at the airport. We were all kind of like heading off in different directions. And Neelay and Jill and my girlfriends and I, we were like, I'm sure everybody was ready for us to go because we were killing ourselves laughing. And there might have been a few peppery words thrown in. We were having fun before we got on our planes. It's just always so nice to meet up with your contemporaries. You know, I hung out one night with all the GBE people. So Candy Cooper and her hubby were there. And who else was there? Oh, Kate Richberg and Andrew and Cynthia. And was there anybody else there? Forgive me if I forgot somebody. I'm trying to think of who was all there. But we really did have a great time. So it's so much fun. And yeah, Jill, next year, I think what I'm going to do is I'm flying to Austin with, I'll meet up with Neelay, and we're going to rent a van. We'll pick up Sam and any other stragglers along the way, and we'll have a party from Austin all the way to Tucson. Sound like a deal? It would be the Bead bus. It might be the Bead bus from hell because we all like to laugh too much and have a good time. But I tell you, there's something about meeting up with your contemporaries because we all, like I was saying to Jill at the airport, we all just want each other to succeed. And, you know, it's like, of course, we're like competitors, but we're not like nobody, you know, we all just want each other to have a successful business. And it's just so much fun. So beep, beep, yep. Get out of the way. We got beats to pick up. Because I think Jill's having a little bit of a scheduling or a delivery issue like I am too. And I think a few of us are. And so she's like, I'm driving next year. And I'm like, well, I always drive. And this year I flew and now I'm having something missing. So what the heck? Anyway, we're all looking for I guess the silver lining in all the crazy that's going on right now. So me with hubby in the hospital and missing packages and exhaustion and renovations and all of it. But you know what? That's life, right? So anyway, oh, I wish I'd run into you too, Julie. We did have a really good time. You know, it's funny. I didn't see as many people as I normally do. Like normally Jill and I were talking about how sometimes it's lovely to meet up with all the people. But it can be exhausting having to sort of stop every 5 minutes and talk to people. But there wasn't as many this time. I think people are still maybe for, budgetary reasons or whatever, because Tucson is expensive. You know, the rooms that we stayed in are just like we stayed at a Marriott, but they're not even very nice. And they charge you like $350 a night. They jack them way up during the Tucson week. Flights are expensive. We used to spend like $400 to get there, and it was $1,200 to fly there. So, you got to rent a car and your food and everything. So I think sometimes people are just going, well, is it worth going now? So, and a lot of the vendors just aren't going because of the cost of the booths. And then if you don't have the traffic flow, like most of the vendors said their first couple of days were good, but you could see that they were all kind of like holding their collective breath midway through the week. So anyway, it was a different experience this year. We were talking about, would we go back? But I get FOMO so bad. Like if I don't get to go to something, I'm like, oh no, what's going on? So, as long as I'm selling beads, I will probably go to Tucson. It might just have to look different. I'm not sure what that means, but everything changes. So I have to try to just jump on the change. Anyway, so did you guys have any burning questions to ask me before I say goodbye? I have to go up to the house and play with the dog for a few minutes because the poor thing, she doesn't know what's going on. And then I'm going to make my way out to give my husband a smooch in the hospital. And then I'm going to go to Costco and buy a new printer because our printer pooped out here and Rob gave us another one while I was gone. But it's not working exactly the way we need it. So I have to go buy another one today. So, one more thing to add to the collection of stuff that Kellie needs to do today. But so that's what's been going on. So I appreciate your patience during all of this. If you want to place an order, I would really appreciate it. It has been dead quiet, and I need to pay for those beads that I just bought somehow. So if you need anything, please throw us an order because We will get it out. My girls are picking up where I can't. I'm just not going to be down here much. So they're working overtime trying to help out. But I do appreciate any orders that come through because we need to stay in business somehow during all of this to, pay for the mortgage and all that. And, my husband just started a brand new job too, like literally a couple of weeks ago. And I think he's got really understanding bosses because he's going to be gone for a while. So what are you going to do, right? Life just has a way of throwing stuff at you and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm just trying to remain, I don't know if positive is the word because I can be a bit of a negative Nelly. I'm just trying to breathe. So anyway, yeah, thank you. I so enjoyed that trip. It filled my heart up to a place that it hasn't been filled since before the pandemic. My girlfriends all live far away from me. Some of my close girlfriends that are here, they're like, well, hey, I'm here. What about me? But the ones that my closest friends, one, Stephanie, she moved over to Vancouver Island. Carrie moved down to Bellingham, Washington. And my girlfriend Shauna lives in Toronto. So I don't have any close girlfriends here I do. I shouldn't say that. I have a bunch of close girlfriends. I have my girlfriend Leslie, but she's busy. And, and my kids are super busy. So I haven't had that, that heartful thing that you get when you're with your girlfriends and you pee yourself laughing. I haven't had that for a while. So I was so glad to go. It was really a good thing. So have I been to the Intergym at Dallas Expo Center? No, I haven't been to any of those kind of things. I used to go to Bead and Button years ago and go to that. That was phenomenal. That was a whole different thing. And I really missed that show. I went to, there's a big show in September in Denver that used to have some really good vendors, although a lot of the people said they're not sure if they're going to go this year because I chatted with a bunch of them. But that show tried to kill me because this girl does not do well in those high elevations. And I couldn't breathe and I needed oxygen. So I ended up with, like oxygen deprivation. It was not good. So I don't know if I'd go back there. And then I used to go to all there was shows in the Seattle area for years. There was 2 big shows that used to go on there. They're all gone. So, it's getting harder, right? So, my husband is fully covered at work. He's one of the bosses there. So I'm pretty sure that they will carry him through. And once he gets home and situated, Sue, he will be able to work from home on his computer. So, because he's like the boss, he can just order people around. So I think he can still do that by phone and on his computer. So I don't think that we have to worry, but if we do, that would not be a good thing. But I'm pretty sure because he's like a salaried employee, I think he'll be fine. So we're very lucky to have no worries as far as like costs of medical in Canada. It can be a drag trying to get your surgeries. There's just not enough doctors. So he's on a list, but now that he's admitted to the hospital, he may get bumped up a little bit. So we're very grateful for that because I know a lot of people, especially in the United States, really struggle with the whole medical system with the cost of it and everything. So we are very lucky, but yes, it will be a plan B. Actually, I will talk to Rob about that and ask him to ask his bosses how that's going to work because it is a new job. So we want to make sure we are fully covered. So anyway, I won't keep you guys a whole lot longer. I just wanted to pop on here and give you a little life update and tell you that I'm around. Oh, you live in Abbotsford. Hey, I'll be there in about an hour, Sue. At the Abbotsford Hospital. So yes, we do need more docs. Yesterday, at the hospital, there was something we'd heard 300 student nurses and doctors working at the or taking their training. So Rob actually had a nurse in training last night. She was very sweet. So, hey, Kathy, nice to see you. Yeah, I did have a great time. Just came home to a disaster, but we had a really great time. So Kathy used to own a bead store in, I don't know. I know it was somewhere outside of Seattle. Let's just say that. She had a really sweet store outside in Seattle. And she was in a group that I was in and I met her a couple times and it was really nice. So, alrighty. So I'm going to take off and go do all those wifely duties and take care of my hubby and go give him big smooches from all of you. Because I thank you for jumping on here and saying hi to him when he popped on. So I am taking good care of myself, Valerie. I'm just trying to do what little needs to be done. I'm trying not to overdo. I could be running around the house doing 1,000 things, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to just do what my body allows me to do. And last night that was have a glass of wine, a little tiny dinner because I just couldn't be bothered cooking, and I watched a movie because I just thought I just need to relax. So that's what I'm trying to be kind to myself during all this. So I will try and I'm hoping that maybe this weekend I can throw a video out. I had a really cute plan for the week, and that of course went to you know where. That did not happen. So one time I will do that, but I'll try to get creative when the time allows. And if anything, we'll be back next Wednesday. Savannah will come back, and we will hopefully have our Tucson stuff. And if not, we'll just yickety yak and do a tutorial of some sort. So I am around. I'm still alive and kicking. I'm just not going to be as present as I normally am. So thank you all for jumping on today with me for this very impromptu little chit chat. I just wanted to, catch you up and make sure you knew that I was still around. So thank you again for all of your love and your warm wishes and all of that stuff during our, extraordinarily tough time. But hey, it could always be worse, right? That's what I would say. There's always somebody out there that's going through worse stuff than I am. So who am I? So you guys go off and make some fabulous jewelry today, play with some beads, do something that makes you happy. And I hope you all have a beautiful day, and we'll talk to you all soon. All right. So thanks again, everybody. Take care. Love you guys. Bye-bye.